good evening, wherever you're viewing from. This is Laura Thompson, your friendly, fabulous, feisty, fierce, and phenomenal CEO and creator of TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with a global reach, and you're tuned into the coffee break. And I am talking to Miss Neka Cleaver, and she is was the former host and probably still is of the One Radio, and that's where the coffee break started. So
Yes,
welcome aboard. How you doing, Neka?
man, just proud of y'all. I feel like all the little shows out, all my babies. I'm so proud of you guys. You're doing great. The coffee break looks great. You've been interviewing some awesome people. Just very proud of you, Laura.
Well, thank you, madam. Thank you, madam. I said I have to get my little act together. I was afraid when I went on the One Radio station with the coffee break because I never hosted a show before, and
Right.
so I didn't even host it because I was like nervous that I would mess up. So I got my own little style now, and
Yes.
so welcome aboard. You ready to lead?
Man, I am so ready to lead. Like I'm ready to get started, man. I feel like I've already been a leader in the community, so I want to continue to lead. But I'm ready to do bigger things, help more people, put some things in place that last decades, and just really make the community proud and show them that work is being done on a Monday through Friday, Monday through Sunday. I know I need one day off, but
No,
you
she
know,
works Monday through Sunday, 24/7
I do. I
times
do.
24 times 7.
But I just,
So
I want to make the community proud at the end of the day, and I want them to say, you know what, we have a leader that might not be able to do everything, or we might not agree with everything, but she's truly working on our behalf and putting in 100% of what she has. And so that's what I'm really praying and what I really can't wait to do. So I'm excited.
we're excited too. So before we get started with the interview, we are going to ask you to introduce yourself. A lot of people know you already, but introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from, what you do and why you're doing it.
Okay.
So you ready?
Well, I am Neka Cleaver, commonly known as Miss Neka. I am born and raised here in San Antonio. I moved to District 2 East Side on purpose 10 years ago to give people a platform and a voice through the One Radio, which eventually turned into the One Media Hub, where we do everything. And in those 10 years, I literally worked with everyone. I worked with the faith-based, my churches. I worked with our community centers. I worked with community programs. I worked with individual people that had initiatives, the mayor, the city manager, our sheriff, our police department, our DA. And I have built relationships that create solutions for individual people. So I want to be able to take those relationships and turn them into real resources for the District 2 community. So really, I've never wanted to be a politician. I didn't like politics at all. But as I've been working in the community for all these years, I've seen and actually watched Laura do her thing in politics. I saw how important it was for people who connect with people to be in these positions, because we consistently get left out because we're not connected with our politicians. They're not really connected with the community, with the people, with the businesses, with the district. And so we constantly get left out. And I was sick of seeing it. And I was sick of seeing the undercover deals or the underground stuff. Like, I was done. So I said, you know what? The best way to ensure that the people are being represented is if I run. And so that's why God brought me here. He woke me up and said, Neka, I want you to run. Your next step is to run for council. And so that's why I'm here. I'm here strictly to be a voice, to amplify the voice of the people and make things work for us.
Wow. And what people don't know about Neka Cleaver is when attended Texas A&M University, she was an organizer there. She organized all of the students to do community projects and projects to serve the students at the school and the surrounding community. So she's no stranger to organizing people and getting things done. And so that's just one little fact that you need to know about Neka is that this is not her first rodeo.
Yeah.
And
And helping people. I feel like being a servant, you have to have a servant's heart and to be a leader, but you also have to be a good follower, which means you have to know how to work with people. And I really feel like that's my strong suit, is bringing all types of people together, Black, white, young, old, educated, not educated, whatever it is. It's about our spirit and the fact that we are all human beings, that together we are better. And I say that all the time. Together we are better, we're stronger, we can do more. And I know that I have the ability to bring all of the different unique things that make up District 2 into one and move forward together.
wow, well, thank you for that. Thank you for your service before that. And I remember, I think you were probably the first candidate to make your announcement
Yeah,
that you were
Dory beat
running.
me by Dory beat me by about 3 days, but yeah, I was right behind her. We announced in November
Okay,
2020. And again, I've just been, and my campaign really didn't change from my normal life. Still did
right.
food drives every week. Still, when COVID happened, we got 1,000 people vaccinated in 1 week by working with community partners, Davis Scott YMCA, and a few other community partners. We got 1,000 people vaccinated in a week. Got food to houses when the electricity was turned off. We got firewood to houses. We got cooked dinners to families that didn't have no food. We got water to places. Like, again, together we're better. So this is something that I have a passion for, and they already do without a title and without a paycheck. In fact, I spend all of my money trying to make sure. I mean, heck, I was spending $10,000 a month for the one media hub building that I had to close down because of COVID. But that was for the people. I wasn't making any money doing that. I wanted the people to have a platform that bad. So that's why I know that I will do good at this job, because I'm going to keep working. Like, I'm here right now handing out flyers at Claude Black. That's why I'm in my car right now, because I'm handing out flyers. But again, I can't say more enough that I just want you to see all of my energy. I want to keep that same energy that I've had over all of those years and bring that to the council office. And I really believe that even though it seems like we have so much work to do, when I studied the position and what was going on with the position, what I learned was we have the wrong leadership in positions. Our boards and commissions don't have the right leaders. They don't even live in the district. We have a lot of empty and not claimed seats on in these same situations. We have the list is so long. But when you put the right people and you switch that and you put the right leaders in those positions, you'll see complete change like that. We have the wrong voices in the places,
or no voices, yeah.
or no voices in the
Mhm.
places that are supposed to keep our houses the way they are. Make sure we have sidewalks and curbs, get our lighting together. We have the wrong voices in those seats. And so money's going not to us, it's going out of the district. So we put the right leaders in the right positions. I've heard all of the candidates give such great ideas with programs. And I said, honey, with the right leader, all of those programs can be put in place. Doesn't matter who brings them to the table. Leadership is about empowering people to get things done. That's what I can do for our community.
Wow. So I want to talk about your top two priorities, but before we do that, I saw where you have a 100-day plan should you be elected to District 2 City Council woman. So
Yes.
can you tell us a little bit about what you plan to do in those 100 days?
So in the first 100 days, I want to make sure we really truly know what the individual people want and need. I mean, let's be honest. I know a lot of people, but I don't know all 170,000 people that live in District 2. So we're going to make sure that we get our communication system up. What does that mean? Our phone systems, to where when you call, you get an answer and you can talk to somebody. Our website, I love myd2.com. It has everything that you possibly need for the district and resources on there, along with comments, feedback, and surveys, so we can constantly get information from the district. We'll have a town hall on all four corners of District 2, because District 2 is one of the largest districts, and it's not just Iowa and MLK. So we've got to make sure we get all that down. And then we've got to meet with our groups that have been out here for years trying to get things done. So we can really come up with all of the issues and then really put that plan together that has times and dates of when we want things finished. It's not about saying, oh yeah, we can do it. No, it's about saying this is what we need. I know lighting is one of the biggest things, right? So we've got to get the plan together for lighting, the amount of money it's going to cost, what areas we're going to put it in, and then how long it's going to take. And that plan needs to be delivered to the community so they know what to watch for. There's only way we can stay accountable is if we're transparent and let people know the plan before we even start.
Wow. So that's one of the complaints that I know I heard as a state rep is that, you know, the people in those seats don't communicate and let
Right.
people know what's happening. And that
Right.
was really the premise of the coffee break, is to update people on what was happening in the district. It was like a
It sure was.
campaign tool for me.
Yep.
So,
And so, you know, we'll have things where because we'll use our platforms when we really come out and you really know everything, the phone system, the internet, you know, who to call, who is running the offices, who's over certain committees. So you have all of that information at your fingertips when you do have an issue. And then at the end of the day, again, that time, Laura, because it's one thing to say, oh, we're going to get it done. But if we've been waiting for it for 20 years, when? So we have to really give some people a real outline of what's going on so they can have some confidence in the office. I think right now we've been burned so many times, we're tired. So let's be honest, whoever wins they're gonna have to come with it. They're gonna have to come
lead. I'm telling y'all.
because we are tired. I'm a resident too. We're tired of being lied to. We're tired of the band-aids. We're tired. So you can't just come in and make promises and not do anything. That day is over, I believe. And of course, we also want to make sure we keep Black representation on the council as well. And District 2 is changing in that aspect.
It's changed.
I want to kind of come nice and soft, but yes, it is completely changed. So if we want to keep that representation, there's two things that we need to do. One, we need to encourage our African Americans in other districts to run. District 10, District 8, District 6. We have a lot of African Americans in that area. Get out there, get involved in the community, and then run for office. And then two, we have to make sure that we're doing a job that everybody sees how we're moving the district forward and how we're doing what's right. Because it's about what's right and what's wrong. So showing people that we're doing what's right and for the people and connecting everybody will keep us in that seat. And the other people will want to keep us in that seat too. Because one thing that I learned, a lot of people will say they're trying to get the Black voice out of the council. That's not all the way true. Right. There are a lot of people of different races that very much respect the Black seat in the District 2 seat in the council. And they want to keep it that way. But we also have to make sure that we're showing them the love too, right? Mm-hmm. And that we're making their problems and their issues.
So did I freeze or did you freeze?
Some of the issues, but I don't think as big as we think. We've got a long list of them, but with the right leadership and the right type of work, we'll get it done.
Right, and it's a collective. It's my favorite quote from a president was, "Ask not what your country can do for you, but what you can do for your country." And it's the same with the community. Ask not, you know, what the city can do for you, but what you can do for your city or for your community.
And Laura, one of the things that it takes for a leader, one thing that a leader should be able to do is get people excited about being involved in the community.
Because people want to be involved. I've learned over the years, people want to be involved. They just don't know how, or they're not allowed.
That's right.
So you shouldn't have to fight to serve.
Nope. And we shouldn't have to fight to be empowered either, to get information, to figure out what's going on. We shouldn't have to fight for that. If what leaders are trying to do is empower the community, empowerment is knowledge. So why are we holding the knowledge from the people?
Well, the other thing too is as a community, we have to take the initiative to, the information is there.
Right.
There's a website filled with information. And there's also opportunities for boards and commissions, but we just have to be educated on what's on that site. Because
Right.
it's buried with information. And
you know what's funny, Laura? Most people didn't even know all of the boards and commissions. All MLK commission, like that was it.
the
And
zoning
I was
commission.
add like 39 more.
Right. It's a lot. It's a lot. I mean, that's the only way you could run the only way that council could have the arms necessary to reach out to and find out information about all the different things that are going on in the city.
That's right. So what people need to understand is the way things kind of work, right? You have the city manager who has a staff. That staff is the one that puts together your budget, puts together your programs, puts together everything that the city is supposed to be doing. They then go, and some of the council members sit on some of these committees. They'll then go and take the finished plan to the council, and the council votes on it. Once the council votes on it and it passes, the plan is now implemented by the boards and commissions. So if we don't have those seats, guess what? We're not getting any implementation where they're supposed to be.
You gotta split that money up. And
that's right.
If there's nobody there to say, okay,
and they're gonna go, you know what? No voice in District 2, we'll go ahead and take their share.
We'll take that million.
Yeah. And we're like, wait, what's going on? Why do we? Yeah, exactly. So
the district, like you said, is very diverse. And so how do you plan to reach out or communicate or serve all of the people in the district?
Well, you know, the funny thing is that since I myself am so versatile, I don't even see that as an issue. I already work with our Black community, our Hispanic community, our white community, our young community, our older community. Like I already work with them. So it's a matter of basically, again, creating the same relationships from our faith base, from our community centers, different things like that, and still going out and sometimes knocking on doors and talking to people and holding events in their area where that's right around the corner so they can come by and have their voice be heard. I might do something as simple as just sitting on the corner on a Sunday and say, come talk to Neka from this time to this time. I'm in your neighborhood. It's not always about one particular thing. We're talking about communication, which is my degree. So communication happens on a bunch of different levels. Yes, we'll use internet, our internet, our phones, our things of that sort, apps, to websites to make sure people are informed. But then we also got to go back to the good old phone banking and the good old door knocking to make sure people are informed. Then we have to also provide events and opportunities in people's area to make sure people are informed. So you're doing 8, 9 things just to make sure you can get all the way across the board. And you never will get 100%. But at least if we can get over 70% of the district knowing what's going on, we'll be doing good.
And knowing what they want. What are some of the things that you found being out in the community that people really, really need, especially trying to rebound from last year?
District 2, one of the oldest communities in the city. Our piping foundation, our water pipes, especially after the freeze, we saw how bad our water pipes really are. From that to foundation to roofs are one of the biggest issues in our community. There's too expensive for people to fix up. Then they're having to deal with taxes, the rise of taxes on their houses. They're having to make decisions on one versus the other. I have a guy in the community where his house burned down, but right before his house burned down, he had to make a decision between his property tax and his insurance. Wow. He didn't have enough money. He paid his property tax. 2 weeks later, his house burned down.
Wow.
Can you imagine, right? So we have to literally think outside the box. We have to think about working with third parties. We have to get some of these big businesses like HEB and Valero and these folks that want to write checks in the community and make sure they're writing checks for the right thing. We have to actually do our own fundraising within the district to raise money for people's individual needs. We don't always have to go to the city and ask questions, right? So
I'm sorry, that's me. Someone texted me and asked me to read their question or ask you their question. So yes. I was looking to see. I'm sorry.
You're good.
So I don't know what about City of San Antonio and anti-Black employment practice? This is what
Is that,
someone was.
did they say Black employment practices? That ain't nobody but Sydney. Hi, I love you, Sid. So look, at the end of the day, as far as when it comes to the Black community, period, like we have work to do to make sure that we are getting the right equity within San Antonio. We are a minority in a majority minority city. What does that mean? Hispanics are the majority here, but they're also a minority in as far as what the nation considers it, right? So we have like a double hard time to get resources, to get jobs, and to get positions of power. So we really do need to work on building that up because I'm gonna take Via for example, who employs probably the most Black people in San Antonio. However, how many Black people are on the board? How many Black people are in vice president, president? Those positions. So we really do want to get our African American community in positions of actual power and not just work positions within the city. So, again, that is working with people, that is making sure that people are educated, prepared. They know like how to go out and get a contract. We want to teach people how to put their products in HEB, how to get a contract with HEB, how to get a contract with the city, but not just how to get it, how to keep it.
Well, how to fulfill it.
Right. It's hard. So, those things are educational things that we need to bring to our community because that's the only way we're going to grow. We get the knowledge, we teach it, and then we implement it. So that's one thing that we need to know, that it is an issue. And when we do get into power, remember, bring somebody else up. If you are, I'm not saying hire somebody just because they Black. Make sure they know what they're doing.
Nice. Right. And what people should know, there are some African Americans in key positions in the city right now.
Oh no, absolutely. CPS.
But even with the city, the new assistant city manager
I was
is
just about to
African
say that.
American.
The new assistant city manager is an African American. Yes.
The new head of the Metropolitan Health District or is African American.
I did not know that one. I did not know that.
It's brand new.
And we have a new magistrate in the judge when you go get your tickets and everything, and you have to go to the magistrate. She is the first Black judge in the magistrate office. We got that about 6 months ago.
Wow. So that's in addition to Andrew Carruthers, because he was a magistrate judge. Is that different from the position that he had? So I mean, we have some African Americans in some key positions, leadership positions. Now, maybe overall, we might be able to do better, straight across the board in all departments, but
we can always do better, right? I think we can always put improvements and stuff, but it is very important to know that we are getting there. We do have African Americans that are making it happen in the city. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Let me put this text. Okay. When the person keeps calling and calling, like, why are you not answering the phone? I'm like, because I'm on an interview. Please stop calling me right now.
Right. So there's a lot of work to be done, but there's a lot of progress. So let me ask you, there's a lot of opportunity. Where there's work to be done, there's opportunity, but I wanted to ask you, see, Marquez De Leon made me forget my question.
Right.
So, should you not win the election, are you willing to work with any of the other candidates that are running right now?
Well, here's the thing, Laura. I don't talk about losing.
Right. Well, we prophesied it, but
I know. I don't talk about. I don't even know what you're talking about right now. I don't even hear that. But I will say this. I'm not going to entertain that answer or that question, but I will say this. I have always worked with anybody who wants to do good for people and community, and that will never, ever change. Never.
Wow. That's a great answer straight across the board. So it sounds like you're just ready to lead.
I'm ready. I'm ready. And in the leader position, I will follow as well because I have to learn. I have to be educated on things that I might not have known before. I don't know everything. So I've got to learn other things and follow and learn. But at right now, I'm ready to lead. I'm ready to put things in motion. I'm ready to tell District 2, you're okay. You know, you don't have to worry about being cheated on. You don't have to worry about being lied to. You don't have to worry about people doing undercover deals. I've got you. And I'm going to make sure we're good, you know, and I can't wait to get to that point to be able to tell them that and then just show you through my actions. I can show you better than I can tell you.
Right. And I don't live in District 2 and I can't vote for you. However, I can tell the viewing audience that you think Neka forgets if you tell her something, you think she forgets, but she gets it done. You know, I don't know when she sleeps. I just know that, you know, we used to have these little huddles and plan something real quick and everything that we talked about.
We had you have to tell them, we would literally have 3-minute meetings. It was like,
right. Let's do this, and this.
And then we would say, okay, what are we going to do? Boom, 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 boom. And did we not do it every time?
And it was successful. And
it was successful.
You know, people supported it and participated in it. And so, you know, you got to really take a look at all of the things, not just Neka, but we're talking to Neka right now, but all of the things that she's done in the community and that she's been able to accomplish. And most people won't do the work to do it. I won't say that anybody or everybody can't accomplish it, but she's willing to put in the work to get it done. And so you got to
hey, I brought us the Juneteenth holiday. And we've been selling Juneteenth for 25 years and we ain't never had a paid holiday. So, you know. And that came, and I'm gonna tell you, that came from, because of course I can't pass anything, right? I don't sit on anything yet, but it came through my relationship with Ron Nirenberg. And so when he came to a community meeting, the people said, we want Juneteenth to be recognized like Fiesta. Yeah, it's recognized nationally wide, but we want San Antonio to recognize it like Fiesta. So he said, okay. And then somebody said, and we want to get a paid holiday too. And he was like, oh, wait, I don't know about that. But that was a Saturday. Right. But that was a Saturday and the Juneteenth was the next Thursday. I called the mayor Saturday night, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then he called me on Wednesday and said, Neka, it's done. Yeah. I went to go pick up the proclamation on Thursday. And then 2 months after that, Eric Walsh found an extra day in the budget to be able to give us a paid holiday on Juneteenth.
Now, so there you have it. And so it just takes initiative, it takes foresight, it takes vision, but most of all, it takes work and being able to bring people together, which, you know, I've seen you do. You know, I don't know what other people have seen, but I've witnessed it because I've worked with you to see you get things done. And you know, the district is more, you know, there's a lot more work to do. I know that, you know, some people are looking at more African-American employees, which is great and which we probably need, but there's a lot more work that needs to be done. And everything is not just centered around just one group, unfortunately.
No, there's 171,000 people in District 2, honey. We can't center anything around just one group. From senior citizens, making sure they have affordable housing and places, activities. We only have one District 2 senior center. We got to get more activities for them. Plus, we need more programs for our youth, for our at-risk youth, going into the jail, making sure people who get out in a year have something to do and a skill, working with our police department to not one, to get accountability, two, to build relations, right? Because we still need relations with our police officers. We need to bring in some community policing. We need to work with our sheriff. We need to work with our constable, which is Catherine Brown, to train neighborhoods to do neighborhood watches. So there's still a lot of stuff we can do, but we have the means to do it. And we have people who are willing to work with us to be successful. So there's no reason why we can't get out here and put our best foot forward into making a successful District 2.
Wow. And so my final question is about Proposition B. There's a lot of people for it and against it.
Yes.
But the reason why it's on the ballot and the reason why people should be voting on it or not voting on it is kind of the information is different. One says defunding, the other says accountability. So
here's the ugly truth about what's going on with 174. The problem that we're having, and I don't care if it gets passed or if it does not, we're still going to have the same problem because 174 doesn't necessarily give us accountability. A Black man can still be shot next week and we can still be in the same position because 143 still exists. And the things that were in 174 are also in 143. They don't talk about that. Also, we have, again, we're working on accountability. So 174 is about collective bargaining. So it's more about their insurance, their money, their raises, their things of that sort. Now there's some accountability, like arbitration is tied into that too. So they did a real good job by tying good things and bad things and putting them all in the same thing, right? So it makes it real hard. You're like, dang, I like this. I want to get rid of this, but we need to keep this. So they did a good job of trying to make it to where people would never be able to get rid of 174. So it worries me. The other thing that worries me is that if we have the cops will tell you 600 cops can retire right now, right? We have 2,400 police officers. We only have 1 to 2 officers on duty in an 8-hour period. We need more officers in the district. We have horrible response times with the police, anywhere from 2 hours to 4 hours or not at all. And we have a lot of crime that happens with people that look like each other, right? That do not have any solving to those cases. So our criminals are still out on the street, not being arrested and not being charged because nobody's saying anything. So we have a lot of issues when it deals with just police, period. So when it comes to Proposition B, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll say, you can vote no. As far if you're looking to be, if you really want the police to keep their salary and you want them to be able to continue to collective bargain, then you would vote no. The other thing that they're talking about is if you take the police's ability away to collective bargain, it will also trickle down to the EMS and the fire department. Okay, that's what the verbiage is on that. If you vote yes for it, 174 will be taken away, collective bargain will be taken away, and they will replace it with meet and confer. What meet and confer is different from collective bargaining is that you meet, the cops and the council will meet just like they do before. And they bring their ideas to the table of what they want changed. If they don't come to a conclusion, then it will automatically revert back to the old contract. Okay.
Evergreen. Okay.
There you go. So you got people trying to get rid of the evergreen. You got people trying to get rid of this and that. So there's a lot of stickiness in there. And the reason why it worries me, and that's why I just want to say worries me, is because I don't want less safety for District 2. I don't need no response times. I need collaboration with police, and I need them to really put true efforts into patrolling our neighborhoods and learning our neighborhoods. So our patrolling officers need to know who lives in the district. And that takes time, that takes communication, that takes town halls, that takes socials, that takes programs. So I can go either way because I'm the type of leader that's going to work with what we've got. But those are the things that concern me. If we take it out, then we have to quickly replace. We good, girl. You're so cute. Sorry about that. We have to quickly put meet and confer back in, and then we have to make sure that we start talking about policies and procedures. And that's either or. Say 174 stays. We still have to start talking about policies and procedures. And let me explain to you why that is different than what Prop B is talking about with collective bargaining. Policies and procedures is where everything starts off, where all of our issues start. A cop pulls you over, he asks you a question, you give him an answer. He doesn't like your answer because you're a young Black man, so he wants to ask you 15 more times. A pullover stop that should take 10 minutes has now taken 45 because they want to put you as a criminal. When they put out that's process and procedures that need to be done. That cop right there should have a disciplinary act on him for not asking the question once, getting the answer, and then writing the ticket, and then letting the person go on beyond their business. When the cops put out a description and say Black man in red shirt, that puts all Black men in danger. So we have to have a 5-point description process: your hair, your height, your tone, your color tone. These are the things, these are process and procedures that will help stop and curb the racism and the prejudiceness that we see in everyday stops. So either way it goes, we still got to fight, is all I want to say. But y'all need to make the decision as a community, your own self, because what you're doing right now on Proposition B and Proposition A is changing city charter. So that's kind of like city law. So when you want to do that again, that might not happen again 10, 20, 50, 100 years. So do it because you want to and not because somebody told you to. Do the research yourself so you feel good about your vote and the way the way you put in on it.
Wow, because a lot of times the people that are explaining it to you don't really understand it. They're just
That's right.
going by what somebody told them.
That's right.
So one other thing, and then I'll let you go. This is Marquez de Leon is relentless. He was saying they abuse collective bargaining, though. It doesn't matter if they still have collective bargaining and arbitration.
Right. That's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, that's why I say we're either going to collective bargain or we're going to meet and confer. Mm-hmm. But if you ask me, that's the same thing. You're talking to the same people at the same table. What's the difference? Mm-hmm. One, you have to do collective bargaining. You have to do, and you can't move forward until there's a conclusion. And meet and confer. If you don't have a conclusion, you just go back to the old contract.
Right. And so this is a long conversation, and so we'll see what happens on it.
Yeah.
It's a we could talk about it for another hour.
You could, because really the thing about it is that my biggest thing with it, like some days I'll tell you, man, Laura, it's the hardest thing to talk about. Because like say I go and I talk to someone who's a citizen in the district, but they're a police's wife, right? A Black woman whose husband is a police officer, and they got tears in their eyes and they're worried about their husband's safety and their kids. And you're just like, oh my God, right? And then the next day you go and you find somebody whose kid got shot by a cop and you're like, oh my God. So it's like the emotion, there's a lot of parts of the story that we're not hearing. There's a lot of things that we're just hearing two sides, but there's a lot more sides to this. And so it's hard to even discuss, but what I want more than anything is for people to be, and I don't want to say accountable. I'm going to stop saying accountable. I want people to get disciplined when they do wrong. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Because you can not be accountable and then say, that one, right? Don't do that anymore.
Accountability all the time, right? But I feel like everybody should have accountability, not just our police. Our mayor needs to be accountable. Our city manager needs to be accountable. The guy that works at Jack in the Box that's putting together your sandwich needs to be accountable.
Citizens.
Everybody.
Yeah.
So when you say accountability, it kind of sounds like, oh, just the police have to have it. No, everybody got to have it. What we're missing is some discipline, some actual punishment. Some actual people going to jail, losing their jobs, like some actual punishment for a crime or a wrong that they did. That's the part we're missing. We get that, I feel like everybody will be fine. Because nobody doesn't want police. Let's be honest. Who wants to call 911 and nobody
And
answer the
nobody
phone,
shows up, right?
right? Nobody just doesn't want police officers. We just don't want bad police officers. Let's be honest. We need police.
So you tuned into the coffee break on TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local feel with the global reach, and we're here with Ms. Neka with two N's,
Yes.
Cleaver, candidate for District 2 City Council woman. And do you have any final words or remarks you want to leave us with? I know you're hanging out at the polls and it doesn't close until 8.
Yes,
So.
I got a little help over there. Maybe somebody's gonna do something. I don't know. But I will tell you this. I've got a passion for people. I've got a passion. I'm born and raised in San Antonio. I've got a passion for District 2. There's nothing like riding in District 2 on a Saturday afternoon with farmers markets and food drives and community gardens, just all things happening in our community. We have a lot of talent. We have a lot of great businesses and we have a lot of opportunity. We just have to connect it and we'll start working together. We have to break down these invisible walls that are separating us for no reason and start holding hands and say, what can we do to help each other move forward? I know I can help us do this. I know I can bring the resources and things that we need into our community. And more than anything, I just know that I will work my tail off for you, because the one thing I don't want to be is a disappointment. The one thing I don't want to hear is, why did we put this girl into office? I want you to say, man, we're proud of her. She ain't been able to do everything, but wow, she's done a lot of work. She hasn't stopped. She hasn't quit on us. And that's what I want to bring to you, just a hard, true, honest work. Integrity and honesty, and for you to know that I'm truly working here for you and not for any special interest or not for any special individual. You are the special individual that I'm working for. So know that, believe that, and let's get ready, because May 1st, we're gonna win.
All right. Well, I hope so. I wish you well.
Thank you.
In your run, and I know you got to run to finish campaigning. It's on the campaign trail. Early voting is over when?
Early voting is over tomorrow at 8 o'clock. And then we have Saturday. And so Saturday, I'm having a watch party at Smitty's from 7 to 2 o'clock in the morning. I've got live bands. Monica Love is singing. We've got music. We've got vendors. And community information. And at my watch party, we will be doing COVID testing and signing people up for the vaccine. So we've got some community stuff in the works on the 1st. Yes, ma'am.
Wow. So if you didn't, if you're on here watching and some of your friends didn't see it, share it and pass the word. Nika's got a good story for all to hear. Tomorrow is the last day for early voting. Election day is May 1st. What's
yes.
Election day? May 1st.
May 1st.
And there's going to be a party, an after party or a watch party.
Watch party at Smitty's.
Yes. Okay. And so thank you so much for hanging out on the coffee break, which originated on the one radio station.
So proud of you. I'm so proud.
So keep up the good work, and sounds to me like Neka's ready to lead. So you're tuned into TAN TV, the African American Network, where we have a local field with the global reach, and we're signing off. And good luck on the campaign trail.
Thank you, darling. Love you and appreciate you. I thank you so much for doing this round of interviews for us, and please continue up your good work as well.
All right. Thank you so much. Ciao. Bye. Bye-bye. Wait, before you go,